Hello everybody. Today we're going to rivet the ribs of the center section to the bulkheads and the bottom skin to the ribs. With the main bulkhead separated, I mean the front and the aft part separated, we can rivet the seat ribs to the aft part of the main bulkhead. The ribs are riveted and bolted to it. The top and the bottom holes are bolted and the rest are riveted. So we already did the bolts and I'm not sure if we torqued them already, but at least we're now riveting the ribs. With the front side of the seat ribs attached, we now have to attach the ribs to the seat bulkhead together with the baggage ribs. So the both ribs on either side are riveted to it with one rivet. It's a little cramped in there, so we need a special nozzle on the, as you can see, it's the bent neck rivet part. And that's a little hard because there's not much room to work with. Also because you need to rivet both ribs. Yeah, it's sometimes hard to reach in there. Sometimes we need to widen up a hole a little bit because of the priming. Sometimes the priming prevents us of inserting the rivet. So it's not really drilling, it's more like opening it up because of the primer. Right. Well, those are all the ribs, especially the ribs with on the side. So that's the outside, the 7/15s. It's a little bit harder because you need to screw them on, and also there need to be spacers in there. So we first did the top ones, and then we're now going back to do all the bottom rivets where you need to insert all the spacers correctly. Here we're checking the torque of all the nuts and bolts. I did do it, but I really like it to kind of check it again. And here my dad is applying torque seal, which is a way to show that you already torqued those nuts and bolts. So that's good. It probably also prevents it from screwing it loose, but alright, putting on its side, we need a little wood under it because as you can see, the skin is protruding from it. The skin needs to get really nice fitted together with the wings. And yeah, we can start here with riveting the bottom skin to all the ribs. We do both the seat ribs again and the baggage ribs, and we rivet, as you can see, we rivet only the part where I can see the ribs. So it's like those ribs are like you have inside and outside ones. So we do all the ones that I can look into to see if I correctly bucked all the rivets. Later, when we've done all those, then we turn the whole contraption around and we do the other ones in the same way. Because actually riveting upside down is really hard. So it's possible, but why bother if you can just turn over the whole construction. So now we're working on the baggage ribs. You have to sometimes figure out how to hold the bucking bar because it's not always that easy. Right. As you can see, we clamped the bulkheads to the table to keep everything stiff. I like to do it at the side because that way it's easier to keep the bucking bar. Also, there's no room to use it in a straight length, although it's easier to buck. I mean, there's more, let's say, mass to it. So now we turn the whole thing upside down. Again, applying the wood parts and clamping it to the table. And now we do actually the same, but only the other ribs, which weren't done yet because they were upside down. It's like inside-outside part. A lot of rivets. We riveted, I think, over 400 of them. So there are a lot of rivets in there. Once this is done, we can start matching the center section to the tail section. So that will be in probably somewhere in one of the next videos. That will be really nice. You see, I put the gauge in my mouth. I check regularly to see if we riveted it well. You can feel it, but sometimes I just like to use the gauge in there because just to be sure. Seat ribs are all done. Now the last baggage ribs. Quite easy work, no real problems. But it's really handy if you're with two persons, because doing it in your own, that's not very easy. As you can see, the outside ribs are not done yet. We do that later. Or actually, it's not the outside rib, it's more like the outside part of the baggage compartment. Here we're discussing on how the floors should be in there, because there's an order in them. And also I figured out that what I said earlier, that I screwed up because I already inserted the nut plates, which should not be in there. I'm trying to find, there it is. I'm trying to find the middle part that need to be inserted there. Alright, next time continuing building my pie in the sky.